Swamp Politics. Episode 2. The global economy is falling, and nobody told us.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome back to Swamp Politics, the only news show where a cold-blooded reptile explains a world gone completely, utterly, spectacularly out of fish. And today, folks, we are literally talking about fish, U.S. fish, oil, and why the entire global economy is currently doing this.
Allie mimes a plane nosediving with his hand and makes a crash sound effect.
Buckle up! This one's a big one. Okay, you already know our cast from last time, but let's do a quick recap, because new penguins are joining the swamp every day. Donald Uncle, the penguin who declared war and victory in the same week. Impressive efficiency, honestly. Uncle Vladdy, quietly watching everything burn from a safe distance, as always, sipping his tea, loving every second. And our newest player, Uncle She, cool, calm, collected, and very, very quietly stacking up his fish while everyone else is losing their minds. Remember that name. You'll need it later. And of course, the supreme fellas of Iran. Still not happy about being called fellas, still very much in control of something very, very important. We'll get to that. So here's what happened. Donald Uncle and his colony government attacked Iran. Big missiles, big explosions, very loud, very expensive. But wait, is it a war? According to Donald Uncle's colony government, absolutely not. They called it a special military operation.
Allie freezes and stares at camera for a long pause.
Where have we heard that before?
Uncle Vladdy's face pops up in the corner, waving awkwardly.
Anyway, days later, Donald Uncle waddles onto TV and says, "We won! Iran is finished! Pack it up, boys!" Except they were still debating whether to send in ground troops. Ali is no military expert, but you don't usually celebrate before the game is over. Just saying. Now here is where it gets serious, folks. Very serious. Even for Ali.
Map highlights the Strait of Hormuz.
This tiny little waterway right here, the Strait of Hormuz, is basically the throat of the global economy. About 20% of the world's oil passes through this narrow channel every single day. And guess who lives right next to it? The supreme fellas of Iran.
Allie draws a knife emoji next to the strait on the chalkboard.
So when the war started, Iran said, "All right, nobody gets oil." And they shut it down. No oil out. Oil prices go crazy. Colonies around the world start panicking. Rationing begins, and everyone's emergency oil reserves suddenly look very, very small. Okay, class, time for the most important lesson in swamp politics history. The petrofish system. Decades ago, the U.S. colony made a secret deal with the Saudi oasis, Saudi Arabia. The deal? Saudi Arabia sells oil only in exchange for U.S. fish. In return, the U.S. colony protects them militarily. Simple deal. Massive consequences.
Allie draws on chalkboard, arrows showing oil flowing, fish flowing back.
See, because oil can only be bought with U.S. fish, every colony on the planet had to collect U.S. fish. The Indian colony, the Japanese colony, the European colony, everyone needed U.S. fish just to keep their lights on. That's how the U.S. fish became the most powerful currency in the world. Not because penguins loved it, but because they had no choice.
Allie snaps jaw for emphasis.
Beautiful system, until Iran shut the strait. Because now, Uncle Xi's colony, China, is offering to pay for oil in Chinese fish instead of U.S. fish. And Iran said, sure, why not? The petrofish system. Being dismantled, in real time, right now, as you watch this video. And then there's the GCC, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman. Donald Uncle's closest Gulf allies, sitting on a third of the world's oil. These penguins had a sweet deal: pump oil, get paid in U.S. fish. U.S. colony protects them. Everyone's happy. Except now, Iran is firing missiles at their airports, refineries, and those shiny luxury hotels in Dubai. And here's the really painful part. The GCC imports up to 90% of their food, yes, including their fish, through the Strait of Hormuz, the same strait that's now closed. And their drinking water comes from desalination plants powered by energy infrastructure Iran is actively targeting.
Long pause. Ailey removes sunglasses.
No oil going out, no fish coming in, no power for water plants. These aren't just economic problems anymore, folks. This is survival. And their great protector, Donald Uncle's colony? Nowhere to be seen. Look, here's what all of this means for you, the average penguin just trying to live their life. Oil prices go up. Everything gets more expensive. Electricity bills, gas, groceries, heating in winter. All of it. The U.S. fish loses value. Your savings buy less fish. Your salary stretches less. Life gets harder. And this isn't just happening over there, somewhere far away. A fish farmer watching exports rot on the docks. A family of penguins that can't afford heating in winter. A young penguin sent home from school because the government needed to cut energy. This war is already here. It's always the common penguins who pay the price, never the ones who started it. Look, Ailey likes to end on a positive note. But today is hard. What Ailey can say is this: the more you understand what's happening, the better equipped you are to navigate it. And that's why we're here, bite by bite, episode by episode. If this video helped you make sense of the madness, hit that like button, share it with a penguin who needs to know, and subscribe, because this story is far from over.
Allie snaps jaw.
Stay smart, stay safe, and remember, in the swamp of world politics, the water is always murkier than it looks.
Allie begins to slide out of the frame, then stops and turns back.
Oh, and one more thing. Disclaimer: this video is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. All characters, names, and portrayals are fictional, satirical, and exaggerated for comedic effect. Any resemblance to real persons is intentional as satire, which is protected as free speech. This channel does not promote any political agenda, party, or ideology. Viewer discretion is advised.
Allie winks and slides out. Music fades. Outtake. Ali fumbles with the chalk during a take, sending laughter around the set.
Who knew reporting on global chaos required expert juggling skills?
Outtake. Ellie makes a pun about fish during a practice segment and breaks character.
How many fish does it take to change an oil reserve?
Peals of laughter echo as the crew wraps up the session.